Welcome back to another fresh video on the channel. Today, we are going to explain the movie The Bluff. The movie is set in the year 1846, during the pirate era in the Caribbean Sea. At that time, many extremely dangerous pirates were active there. We see a pirate group brutally attacking a small ship and demanding that everyone hand over whatever they have. One by one, they kill all the people on board. Eventually, they reach the captain. Captain Borden tries to protect himself and one of his crew members, but he is still captured. We see that he has a small piece of gold. The most dangerous and ruthless pirate boards the ship and asks Borden where the rest of his gold is. At first, Borden refuses to say anything. But when they threaten to kill everyone one by one, he reveals that the gold came from his island, though he does not mention the island's name. By checking the ship's map, they discover it came from an island called Cayman Brac. Then Captain Corner orders his commander Lee to turn all the ships around. They decide to sail to Cayman Brac and seize all the gold which he claims belongs to him. After that, we are shown Cayman Brac Island, and 6 days have passed since the incident. The island appears very peaceful, and the people live happily there. We see another boat being prepared to search for the captain because he has not returned on time. In another scene, we see Elizabeth, Captain Borden's sister. A boy named Weston, who loves her, comes to meet her. They decide that the next day they will leave the island because Elizabeth feels suffocated living there. She has been on this island since childhood and wants to explore the world with Weston. Then we see Ercell. She is waiting at night for her husband, Captain Borden. They have a child named Isaac who is disabled and unable to walk properly. Ercell has arranged her entire house in such a way that she knows who enters and from where. She has set traps so that if anyone comes in without informing her, she will know immediately. She handles all the heavy tasks herself with ease, as if she possesses extraordinary strength within her. At night, Isaac asks when his father will return. It is his father's birthday, and they want to celebrate together. Ercell assures him that his father always arrives at the right time. She gives him a dagger as a gift and tells him that whenever he thinks of his father, he should look at it, because his father made it especially for her. Elizabeth writes a letter explaining that she does not feel happy there and wants to run away with Weston to see the world. The next morning, Elizabeth leaves the letter with her niece. When the bells ring, Ercell wakes up and goes to Elizabeth's room. But Elizabeth is no longer there. Around the house, strange footsteps and whispers can be heard. She immediately wakes Isaac and hides him in a secret basement. At the same time, a pirate breaks through the roof and jumps inside. Then, through the front door, a pirate named Chen enters, and Ercell confronts him. However, the pirate manages to overpower her. Then the pirate leader, Scout, arrives and demands to know where the house's money is hidden. Ercell points to a secret spot behind Boden's portrait on the wall. But when Scout finds only a few loose coins, he angrily throws them away. A fight erupts between the crew and Ercell. She is slammed to the floor directly above the hidden place. Ercell quietly whispers to Isaac that his mother is safe. The crew drags her up, and Scout displays a broken gold bar, demanding the rest. When Ercell pretends not to know anything, Scout orders his men to tear her apart, leaving only her face untouched. Meanwhile, people near the church continue their daily routines. A local man, Cousteau, warmly greets the pastor. Tension rises as authority over the state and the free colony is questioned, and the man in front is challenged about his rank and loyalty. On the shore, Captain Connor delivers a chilling metaphor in a cold voice, saying storms destroy paradise while presenting himself as a loyal brother of the sea offering shelter, though his true intent is sinister. The pirates row toward the shore. Meanwhile, Elizabeth, calling out for Weston, reaches the meeting place. As she approaches, she discovers his body, his throat slit, brutally murdered. A warning sound alerts everyone on shore of the approaching danger, and the harbor master warns the panicked crowd. In fear, locals rush women and children into the church for safety. Custard recognizes Connor as the dangerous predator wanted by the British Empire, but Connor calmly claims he only came to settle a debt involving Mrs. Boden. At the same time, Connor's quartermaster advances the boats. When an officer refuses to reveal Mrs. Boden's location, Connor pretends to regret it and signals his men to intensify the violence. The quartermaster orders his marksmen to fire, killing the operator and breaking the island's defensive strength. Meanwhile, pirates surround Ercell at home, laughing as they inspect their loot. Anxious, Ercell asks if her husband is alive. The attackers ignore her pleas and hang her in the air. When Isaac calls for his mother, the pirates turn their attention to the hidden spot. Suddenly, Ercell launches a brilliant counterattack. She fights fiercely to protect her child, knocking one pirate down with brutal blows. While Chin struggles to restrain her, Ercell fights with terrifying courage, like a mother defending her child. Outside, the battle rages as Cousteau orders the bulldog cannon fired, exchanging heavy shots with the pirates. Inside the house, the confrontation reaches a bloody climax as she overpowers the last pirate, throws him down, demands her husband's location, and finishes him. On the shore, chaos continues as pirates drag captives and violently seize control. Cousteau is captured. Connor demands the location of the island's distress signal. Cousteau initially refuses, but when Connor threatens the church, he is forced to reveal it is on Bluff Peak. Elizabeth arrives there and hides. After getting the information, Connor executes Custod with a cannon, a scene Elizabeth witnesses. Scout later reports that Ercell has been captured. In reality, she is at home comforting her terrified son. She tells Isaac to pack essentials for escape. Hearing footsteps, she aims her gun, but Pastor Bradley rushes in. He warns that armed men have spread across town and their leader is connected to her hidden past. When he calls her captain, Ercell rejects the title. Isaac shows her Elizabeth's letter, and Ercell prepares him, ordering the pastor toward the mangroves. She gives him a flintlock and leaves to find Elizabeth. Moving through bushes and avoiding patrols, Ercell finds Elizabeth hiding. Elizabeth tells her about Custod's brutal death. Ercell orders her to run to the mangroves. Meanwhile, Connor and the quartermaster arrive at Ercell's house but find it empty. Connor warns his men not to underestimate her and orders anyone traveling with her shot. In the jungle, Pastor Bradley waits near a marked tree. Ercell and Elizabeth arrive. Hearing a machete nearby, Ercell prepares herself. As pirates approach, they reach a narrow river. Nervous, the pastor stays behind to distract them. Connor arrives, recognizes him as Blackheart Bradley, and demands to know where the boy is. When he refuses, Connor shoots him in the stomach. Ercell is spotted in the trees and chased toward a dangerous river. Suddenly, men standing in the water scream as crocodiles attack, injuring several pirates. Ercell slips away, ambushes a lone scout following her, and defeats him to secure her family's escape. Connor shoots the crocodile. In the swamp, Ercell finishes the last attacker. Connor calls her Bloody Mary and offers a deal for Captain Bowden's life in exchange for the stolen gold. Ercell refuses and leads her family to a hidden cave refuge. She explains that their enemy is the ruthless Francisco Connor and confesses that he murdered her parents and assaulted her when she was 12, forcing her to assume a new identity to survive. Inside the cave, hidden gold is revealed as their only hope. Meanwhile, the quartermaster mocks the imprisoned Bowden. When Isaac plays with a sensitive device, Ercell quickly grabs it away and arms herself before stepping outside, warning Elizabeth and Isaac to stay put. Connor questions Bowden about how many men Ercell has killed. During a rescue attempt, they fail to unlock his chains because only Connor has the key. Ercell emerges, terrifies the pirates with a small explosion, and confronts Connor. And amid the chaos, Connor kills Bowden before Ercell's eyes. Furious, she attacks him, but he reveals he only cares about the bounty on her head. Ercell burns the well rope and escapes by diving down before it explodes. She safely returns to the cave. Elizabeth treats her wounds, and Ercell confirms Bowden is dead. In the cave, Ercell fortifies their home, confesses her dark past, and trains her family to defend themselves. When pirates invade the tunnels, Ercell hides in the shadows and triggers gunfire and small explosions. She orders Elizabeth and Isaac to retreat. Scout ambushes them, but Elizabeth stabs him and reclaims Weston's necklace. On the island's peak, Ercell confronts Connor. With Elizabeth's help, Ercell drives her sword into his chest. As he dies, he whispers, "My Mary." Ercell reveals her real name is Mayam. On the boat, Isaac discovers the real treasure hidden beneath the deck. Back on shore, the church bell rings and life returns to normal. In the final scene, Ercell and Elizabeth stand victorious on the island's peak. The film concludes here.